ninja. Are you a neuro warrior? Well, you have neurons. You have over 100 billion neurons. And by the way, welcome to my YouTube channel. Negative thinking just demoralizes this incredible opportunity we have in life. I want to give you some insights. I'm going to give you a little tip on how you can start thinking more positively without becoming a positive thinker. And before I get into that, I want you to take a moment and take the brain style quiz that we put together for you. It's free. It'll take just a few moments and you'll find out what brain style you have. And then there's offerings to go ahead and correct any deficits that there may be and how to utilize the strength side of it as well. Now, what I want you to think about is how do we move from what becomes so natural for some people, and that's how they talk to themselves. You know, I heard one time, if you had a friend that talked to you the way you talk to you, would you hang out with that friend very long? And most people, in fact, probably 99 out of 100 go, absolutely not, I'd get rid of them. And well, why is it we do that? You know, it's beyond protecting ourselves. It's become a habit. In any way that you can come up with something to break a habit, I would highly encourage it. And so what I have learned is rather than trying to break an old habit, we come up with a new one. And here are one thing that you can do to break that negative self-talk and create positive, and that is, at the end of the day, I want you to jot down 3 things that you accomplished that day. Now, most people have to think about, well, what was the monumental feat that I had? Where was the Nobel Prize in what I did today? And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a new practice. You see, you got good at negative thinking because you were practicing it. And now I'm going to ask you to get good at thinking positively, and you need to practice at it. And here's how you do that. If I was going to jot down 3 things that I'm most proud of, you know, one thing might be that I was at the grocery store and a lady dropped a bunch of groceries on the floor, and I stopped and helped pick them up. Now, that's not a great big deal, but what am I focusing on? Am I focusing on the fact that, geez, how embarrassing she dropped all these groceries? No, I'm focusing on the fact that how do I make this a positive experience? And by assisting her, you'd have been blown away by how grateful she was. And you know how that made me feel? It was really quite amazing. It was such a simple act. Another thing, sometimes you'll have those days where the only thing you can come up with is you dressed yourself all by yourself. But that's the point. The point is to find 3 things that you're proud of, that you've accomplished. And what begins to happen is now you've taken a phenomenal part of your brain that connects your spinal cord to the brain, called the reticular activating system, which only pays attention to what you're thinking about. So if I'm starting to practice what I'm grateful for and what I've accomplished, then guess what it starts to look for without me even having to do it. And now it's easy for me, just before I fall asleep, to list those 3 things. In fact, sometimes I have to stop at 3. Now that's amazing. When I first started, it was hard to come up with 3. Practice this, watch the transition, leave us a little link, or we'll leave you a link. How about that? And I want to see you take that brain quiz so that you can continue to improve the quality of that one very special and precious life that you have.